A pleasant good evening to each and everyone in Georgetown, Guyana, the diaspora and elsewhere. Friends, I would like you to subscribe to my channel and press the bell so you will get the updated video as I feel pleased to put it out. You know, many people got a hobby. Some love parties, some like cricket, some like dance and singing, some like horse race. I love humanity. And by saying that, you may turn it into a political arguments or whatever, but I am here to stand up to speak up for humanity. I was born in Georgetown, Guyana, and I am telling you here today, I am very sorry and I'm grieving to know why we cannot choose a true Guyanese who was born in Guyana, who accept the country to lead it. But we follow emancipators and arrivals. The blacks are claiming emancipation when the ancestor who was emancipated died and buried and may they rest in peace. The Indians are claiming they have arrival when some went back and the rest remain, but still do not mean to change. Friends, if you're born in a country, you must accept your birthrights. But when you are going to say you are emancipated, then you are a foreigner. You shouldn't be in the country. You shouldn't be the leader. And if you arrive, same thing goes to you. Which brings me, I'm wondering to know if the Portuguese dropped from the sky. Since now that they are seeing a lot of UFOs showing up all over the places. Maybe Mars. Maybe Jupiter and the Chinese, because I don't hear they say shit. And the European who live in America and Canada, I never hear one day they talk that they are free or emancipated or they are right. They don't even remember French, France or England, but they associate and be close allied with their people. But never one day I hear a European blood in Canada, Australia, New Zealand, America use that word that we are free, we are emancipated, or we arrive. That is for the whole generation. I don't want to. They honor a day of the revolution. That's 1776 to now. America was independent because of a revolution that take place. And today I want to make this clear to my Guyanese counterparts. The real Guyanese, the Amerindian, the indigenous people, followed by the mixed race, the Portuguese and Chinese. Friends all, we have tried the black race who are emancipated and many problems happen, racism and a little corruption, no justice to the other races. Many young women, Indian and other races was raped. And I was made to understand from people who was in the national service, people militia, plenty young women were raped in it. But where is justice? Where is the justice that we are talking about? Because you was misled. You, the black race, believe that everybody owe you something. But that's not how it's supposed to be. And you, the Indian, you don't talk race. I must give you that credit. But you are the most corrupt thing that walked the planet Earth. Take it from me. I have studied race of nationality like animals. A tiger have his own behavior like a lion, like the puma, like the jaguar, like the wolf. And they all have their own way of approach. While you, East Indian descendants, are the most corrupt, selfish, vindictive, spiteful, covetous, and very ungrateful, and love to humiliate and put down the lower class of people. You have no respect for those who have no money and working with you as your servant in your kitchen or in your yard. You have no respect for the less fortunate who are less educated because you believe that you are God. I urge you two major races here today. Get off that bloody nonsense. The whole of Africa right now, your ancestors are fighting each other. Ethiopia, you got Nigeria, you got Somali. Who they got to call to settle it? The European, as you say, the white man. I have seen in Canada some people in Parliament, our black sisters and brothers, speak out against the inhuman treatment that was placed upon the African children, the descendants of Africa, who allowed to enter Canada as refugees. They say they are sleeping on the street, while other races are getting placed. Now, I condemn it, if that is the case, because we cannot blame modern generation for the past ancestor ignorance, because everybody misled somebody. But I want my black brothers and sisters who are raging that thing to listen. I share your pain, I share your grief, and you are right. But do you forget your history? When the European was in Africa, we killed them. We drove them out of Africa. And the biggest drove out for Africa was Mr. Mugabe, former Rhodesia, when he let every white people had to leave. Today, the modern president are begging them to return. My friends, what wrong you have done will come back to haunt you. We see in Ukraine, when the war just began, Indian children were there to study. African children were there in school. Yes, I agree, it is quite wrong what they've done to the blacks. The Indians sent a plane to take the people back to India. Did the African do that? No. But we have the president in Ghana who take a plane load of people to go to Qatar to look at soccer. Man kicking ball while the African men are playing with their balls. What kind of respect you leaders want in Africa? You drove the white man out. You say he was no good. He robbed your resources. He exploited your people. Today you are free. Why are you doing it to them? And you're doing worse. You're doing worse to them. Look in Ghana today. The lady who is in charge of the public works, according to information, the news is out there, she is a minister, had millions of US dollars in her house. Millions of European money in her house. And many CDs of her own country in her house. She happened to be a minister. She did not trust the Bank of Ghana, Accra. Answer me. What kind of example? I do hope that the Supreme Court and the government in power, Nana, can look at this matter very seriously and pay a close eye to it. I do hope you give the young woman and her boyfriend who stole that money from that minister that was in charge of such a prestigious job, that she exposed something that many people would have been shaking hands and called that woman, what a remarkable person. But friends, if she cannot give account how she get the money, then the law of the land must take its course. But for the woman and her boyfriend, as the story goes, it's alleged, who exposed it, that the damn minister had no sense to bring it to court, for she silent it. Today, I heard she resigned, or she have to resign, plus they have to investigate where the money come from. She's not a magician. Could it be those money was bribed from any foreign company that want to break in Ghana? Could it be that was stolen? I'm asking question here, please. Now, I want people in Guyana to pay close attention, because you in Guyana came from Ghana. And the Indians in India came from India, who are living in Guyana. And I want you to know the same bullshit is happening in India. Family and friends are owning all the business. The waterfront, the mining, and the Indian people are suffering, but those countries are 2 billion people with 50 or 60 different dialects of Indian language. Plus you have 70 to 80,000 of Kenyan blacks and there who grew up there from the time of the British born there, but they call themselves Indians. Now, if the black man and woman could call himself Indian in India that born there, why Guyanese Indians still talking about arrival when you was born in Guyana? Then you should not rule the country because you are not a citizen of the country. All right? For your law books and your constitution claim that if you are a foreign citizen, you cannot be in Guyana Parliament. What are the opposition doing? But you know why they can't do nothing? Because they got plenty from Canada and America, it's alleged, are ministers in the government, as much as the PPP government, it's alleged. I am asking you Indian and black people in Guyana, when will you all stop your nonsense? You black people are better than the Indian in any circumstances. But in every race there's good and bad. Because you are hungry, it was your government Burnham Cassidy and Jagan and present day leader. They meet with a lot of mess. Today I hear every Guyanese, Indian and black, Abi got aisle. Abi got aisle because you emancipated and the other one arrived. And therefore, how long y'all don't accept Guyana, then I think it's piracy. The emancipators and the arrivals is taking everything what don't belong to them. And the people must stand up. I call upon the decent blacks, the decent Indian, because you got a lot of honorable decent black people and Indian who's not a part in the corruption, to be united with the Portuguese, the Chinese, the mixed race, and the indigenous people, and let's form a national front government. Now, why am I saying that? We had the PNC. We hear the Indians say, the Black People Party, black man a ruler be. We put the Coolie Party now, the Indian Party. We hear the blacks reflect the word over the installed Coolie government. Friends, if we can play one for the other, we'll never come out of slavery and this mentality. Now, you black people holding on a black man or woman because you black. You Indian holding on a black man or woman because you black. I'm Indian. That is not so. A black man would stand up more for Guyana than you Indian. Because you will run away to Canada and America. Trinidad. You will bribe to get out of Guyana. But the decent Indian will stand up to defend the country like the blacks. The blacks is only misled because of Burnham and the attitude of you Indian who have hurt your own and paid them to kill and beat and burn fire on your own because you hate them, you jealous them. So you Indian, you got a problem. You got to come to reality. You have to show more love for Guyana. And as I said, there's good and bad in both parties. But let it be known, one bad fish in a barrel spoils the whole barrel. So all 65 members of parliament have a secret for each other. Donald Trump, the former president of America, is trying. They're trying him for all kind of crime. They're trying to bring him for the 6th of January, where he wanted to change the rule of the election. What happened to Mr. Lowenfield? What happened to those who threatened the commissioner, election commissioner? What happened to those people who went on $15,000 Guyana dollar bail when they carried a terrorist act in Rosala and more and attack innocent people, beating them, robbing them, burning up their vehicle? What happened to them? They should be tried for terrorism and put to the seawall and execute. I, George Correa, said that. Because if they have done that in Africa, they would have dead, them and their whole family. Any part of Africa, right now I'm telling you that. Check Ethiopia, check Angola, check many more that I won't call, because if you got Al Jazeera, you will see them fighting one another right now. Even Kenya, Nigeria, and you try that bullshit in many other places, in the Arab continent, you will be wiped off the face of the earth or China. My friends, America might have their way to protect democracy and human rights and to keep this hemisphere clear from communism, Marxism, and whatever ism you all believe in, because America believes in freedom and democracy. They will not tolerate a Cuba with missile next to them, and they won't tolerate it in Guyana or Central or South America. Get that clear. And for all of you, Guyana still is not independent because the indigenous people did not get their country. I have to congratulate the Portuguese and the Chinese for not speaking about slavery and emancipation and arrival. Right? So let me let my black brothers and Indians know clearly. If it wasn't for the Portuguese man, Guyana wouldn't get a so-called independence. The CIA with the agent might have killed out all Indians because of communism talk. Get the X-13 plan and read about it. So the Portuguese saved you Indians. Today a lot of you are in Queens, another part of America, but in Queens you call it Little Guyana. How presumptuous you all could be to come to a man country and want to change the bloody name. You know, if God give y'all a chance in heaven, Allah or Bhagwan, y'all gonna do the same? So y'all are not needed. How could people trust you? You talk about Chinatown. Do you know what the Chinese do for this country? That you're talking? But you are the most wicked and treacherous people, you Indians. But you have good one amongst you, don't get me wrong, because you fight against your own. You kill your mother, your father, your brother, your sister-in-law, because of land and money. And also, you love to bribe magistrates and judges and prosecutors and corrupt police. And let me tell you, in the right government, all police, present and past, shall and will be given a lie detector test. So I urge you, the policemen and women, do not, for God's sake, take money from an Indian businessman or any politician to lock up innocent people, frame charge them, or beat them, or kill them, like what the Mary police station have done to Anthony Snow. And the Coolie used Ramjatan government, what you call them, APNU, under David Granger, Coolie and Black. But he was in charge of security. And he used that because I exposed him and Nagamutu on Straight Talk. But I have a message to both of them. It is not over until it is over. I got that message straight. Right, Nagamutu? Think of it. Right, Ramjatan? If y'all know who's behind us, you go down on your knee and kiss the American flag. Take it from me. And remember these words. America gets what America wants. I look at Al Jazeera today. I think it is Algiers. Somebody burned the Holy Quran. And there's major demonstration, maybe killing too. For what? A religious book to teach you how to live among your fellow brother called the Holy Quran. I think if they burn the Quran, yes, it's wrong. So every one that they burn, you should print 10 to it or 100 and share it to every house. I work in America. I've been to country. I've seen men throw away Bibles by boxes. And I see the sanitation take it and bury it or burn it. Now they're recycling them and making furniture out of their dust. My friends, I want you to understand. Get off of this nonsense. The Ramayana, the Quran, the Bible was printed on paper and the name. And what is written in there can always be presented on another paper. So if the fool wants to burn the Bible, the Ramayana and the Quran are throw it away. So let him do that. You print more. It will come a time you would have to stop. But you're killing over an ideology, a teaching. If Allah, Bhagwan or God, send all these prophets, because the Lord shall remember, Jesus says in the Bible he would have to go for the Comforter to come. Muslims claim the Comforter is Prophet Muhammad, peace be unto him. Now, Muhammad also in the Quran speaks about Musa, who's Moses, and Isa, who's Jesus. Abraham, who's supposed to be my great-grandfather. Adam and Eve. So I don't see what is this grievance between the Christians and the Muslims. It's only a little turn of teaching of languages and culture. But they all speak of the same God. Now, some Hindus told me a little while ago how Jesus could be Mary, God could be Jesus' father, and how Mary didn't have a man, as I can recall. And these are Hindus. I asked the question, God can do anything, for He is the creator. But since Sita happens to be your goddess, when y'all meet her, ask how she get Kush, and the other one when Ram was in exile. And she was not allowed to visit him because of Dashrat and Kaku. Ask that question. So why are we fighting over Jesus, Muhammad, Moses, and all the prophets? And we are fighting amongst our mothers and fathers, brothers and sisters for piece of land that we all got dead and left. It's a world, friends. Let's unite and work together and save humanity. Let's stop this fighting who boundary and who not boundary. Let's stop this fighting what tribe you are because you are a human being, or what caste system you come from. China got billions of people, plus what's spread out. Why they don't have this kind of nonsense? Only the white European race as the white man. The Indian white man fight for policy. Believe in it. Indian fight for land. Black people fight over tribal affair. And now you're fighting for land. Stop it. Let's unite. You African, you Indian, you Chinese, you European, let's put it together and find out what is right. We are our own enemy. So if God take black people into heaven, white people into heaven, Indian into heaven, and Chinese, you all will not agree. You are going to fight up there too. You hypocrites. Wake up and unite and accept your brother. We are only different from color and shade and nationality, language and culture. So I'm urging you all here today, let's unite. And I have a message for Mohan Lal in Canaan. Mr. Lal, I kindly ask you and your corrupt comrades in Parliament and all who you're bribing in the NDC, take that effing pipe that you're draining that water into our land. The Chongs and I are brothers, and you're violating our rights. We have some fishes there that I had brought and got there. Take your polluted water to your side, because we couldn't do it to you. You are very presumptuous. But the PPP shall not, will not, and would not belong in government. Nor APNU will not be in government. I'm telling you from today. They are speaking to 3 patriotic Guyanese. One happens to be black, one happens to be Amerindian, and one is mixed up like me. And the black one, to be honest, is much more capable and can handle the country, but he said he don't want to get into a crossfire. So right now we are trying to debate with him to show how we can bring about a united Guyana with a national front. And let it be known to you, y'all could do all the killing now, but where are you going to run and go? We shall bring you back. And every military personnel, police, and everybody should have land to build a house and money. And the oil, there will be a negotiator on the price, the gold, the lumber, and the bauxite. But the Amerindian must be head of the game. First, let me thank you all for listening. As some people call me a madman, so only a madman is bringing the truth. My name is George Karaya, your host of the day. Thank you for listening, and thanks for your critics.